Good morning. So today we're going to talk about the right in REM versus the right in personam, which is a doctrine under the law of contract. So what is right in REM and right in personam mean? First of all, we're going to read about the definition of the right. So Austin, a legal philosopher, had once stated that an individual's privilege is a prerogative granted by a specific statute and used against another person or persons. Prerogative means a right or a privilege which is exclusive to a particular individual or class of individuals. Right in REM or just in REM. Anyone who signs a contract possesses a right in rem, or which is also known as just in rem, meaning intangible rights. This means this is a right that they can execute against the entire world. Basically, it prevents the person's stuff from being stolen by anyone across the globe. As a result, we refer to this right as a negative right for the simple reason that it provides everyone with the right to be alone. This means nobody else has the right to meddle with the rights of another person. These are the rights that are residing in the individuals and can be availed against other parties. Right in personam or just in personam. Right in personam is the exact opposite of what right in rem is. Right in personam confers legal rights on a single person or a party to the contract. It usually corresponds to the responsibility placed on the mentioned person or on the group. So, what is the difference between right and rem and right in personam? Firstly, in right and rem are real rights, which means rights against available against other people. Right in personam are personal rights, which means availed against oneself. Right in rem are available against other people. Right in personam are available against a particular party. One right is the subject matter of another right. In this case, right in rem means this is the subject matter of right in personam, whereas rights in personam, this is the subject matter of right in rem. Example, right of a person after he signs a contract with a person B for a purchase of land, let's say, is right in personam, whereas the execution of a sale deed, the right available to it would be right in rem available against the entire globe. In right and rem, no personal relationship is established, whereas in right and personam, a relationship is established. In right and rem, there are negative rights. These are known as negative rights, whereas there are in right and personam is known as positive rights. Rights in REM are often known as general rights, whereas right in personam are known as special rights. This is because, as we stated earlier, right in REM is something which is available against the entire world, whereas right in personam is available against only a particular kind of person. Let us take an example. A purchased a car. A now has the right in rem with respect to that car. No party can disturb the right in rem of A with respect to that car. Now, again, under another example for right in personam. A sold his house to B for assuming 10 lakh rupees. Hence, A has the right to receive the sale amount from B, which is A's personal right, and no other party is involved in this. Hence, this is a right in personam because in this, two parties are involved, which is A and B. There is a sale deed between A and B. A contract has been made between A and B, and in pursuance of the execution of that sale deed, A is liable to receive money. A has the right to receive money from B. Hence, this right of A is right in personam. Now, now in a case where A gifted a land to his son, which is B, then in such a case, B has the right in rem with respect to that gifted property, which means B can now further give that property to any other person that he or she desires. B rented his farmhouse to C for a monthly rent of rupees 6,000. Hence, B's right to collect the rent from C is his personal right, and no other party is involved in that collection of rent. B cannot collect the rent from D, B cannot collect the rent from A, neither can he collect the rent from E, which means the only person he can collect the rent from is C. In that case, the right of B to receive the rent from C is his right in personam. Let us have a look at one or two case laws. In the case of R. Vishwanath versus Syed Abdul Wajid, it was held that a right in rem prepossesses a duty to recognize the right imposed on all people in general, which means it is available against the entire globe in general. In contrast, a right in personam prepossesses a duty imposed on a specific person or a class of persons, which means in right in personam, only the parties involved in that particular transaction will fall party to the right in personam. In MV Elizabeth versus Harwar Investment, what happened was the plaintiffs established a claim is the full amount. Plaintiffs established claim is the full amount of the defendant's liability in personam action, which means a claim established by a plaintiff A. It is the liability of the defendant to fulfill that claim or to give up the claim amount of money, which is why it results in a personam action. An acknowledgement of service in a real estate auction can also lead to full liability even when the judgment exceeds the property value or the bail provided. In other words, an admiralty suit in personam, the defendant is liable for an entire amount of the plaintiff's substantiated claim. Similarly, even if the amount of judgment exceeds the value of the res, which is the thing in question, a defendant recognizing the service and action in rem risks being held fully accountable. Now, summing it up, what are right in rem and what is right in personam? Basically, right in rem and right in personam are two Latin terms, which means action in rem and action in personam, respectively. So, another definition which was stated by Holland is that a legal right is the capacity a person possesses to govern the activities of others with the approval and aid of the state. Meaning, with the approval and aid of the state, a right is executed by a person. A right which is executed by persons in general against anyone is a right in rem, whereas a right which is executed against a person in particular is a right in personam. So this is what we learned today about right in rem and right in personam. Thank you.